Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 60 plus days away from its official release by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a revelation film answering many questions of course, from The Force Awakens that were not answered in The Last Jedi, that will now be fully answered in Episode 9 by JJ, George, and of course Chris Terrio, in order to give the fans a very unique and original experience once they go ahead and see this movie in theaters come December 19th of this year. Now, on top of all of this, a lot of fans have been very concerned, including myself, with all the reshoots that have been happening for months on end now, where a lot of changes and adjustments have been made here and there to the first, second, and third acts of the movie. But when it all comes down to the ending of Episode 9, this is where things begin to get a little bit concerning for Episode 9 as a film. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about this is that it's described that Disney and Lucasfilm, during the reshoots, have been going through a series of changes for the upcoming final installment of the Skywalker saga, that Disney is actually said to be adjusting the third act of the film in drastic ways. It's explained that Disney is testing with 8 different endings for The Rise of Skywalker during its end of the reshoots phase, before they head into the final phase of post-production. Now, it's described that these 8 different endings have to do with Kylo Ren and Rey, as well as Palpatine, and all falling in the range of the last 20 minutes of the film, that involves the final battle with Rey, Kylo, and Sidious, as well as a heartwarming moment at the end that is said to be a part of the 8 different endings, that Disney are trying to cut down to 1. It's described that this has all to do with how a certain ending would fit best with the reshoots that were done for months throughout the months of this year, and that they are trying their best in order to provide fans a consistent Star Wars film that makes the most sense to the audience. Now, additionally, it's explained that Disney has tested various fighting scenes between Rey and Kylo against Palpatine, as well as a scene where Rey is alone on an unknown world in several ways. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and what this really means. What's the big deal here about this? Well, this definitely, in my opinion at least, shows us that they are not confident in one ending and that they are trying many different endings in order to keep their options open. Now, this is something that you don't really see in a Star Wars movie when it's actually being filmed, especially during reshoots. You know, with Rogue One, yes, they changed the ending, but that was just one alternative ending that had to do with Darth Vader slaughtering the rebels on board that ship. But now, for The Rise of Skywalker, it's actually said that there are 8 different endings that are being tested for The Rise of Skywalker that consist of Palpatine, Rey, and Kylo Ren, especially their battle, and of course, one of which has all to do with the heartwarming moment involving the character of Rey. Now, the thing about this, the thing that really makes me think about this here is that this does indeed tell me that Disney has pretty much, no straight answer as to whether or not, this is a good ending or that's a good ending. Seems like that they are trying to create multiple different endings as they go throughout the reshoot phase in order to keep things in line in a consistent way. But at the same exact time, right, we can see that there's a lot of bouncing back and forth between, all the different reshoots that have taken place, all the adjustments for the film, the fact that they cut out Matt Smith as the new villain in The Rise of Skywalker or gave him a different role. That's another big change that they made throughout the reshoots of Episode 9. So a lot of things have changed, and now there's 8 different endings being tested for The Rise of Skywalker, and I'm just not quite sure if that's really a healthy thing for, of course, the movie itself, because for all we know, sticking with one ending could very well be the best choice, because then you can focus on one ending and one ending only, and then just build upon on top of that and make it a little bit better as you move forward. But having 8 different endings really sounds like that they don't really know exactly what they should do for the last 20 minutes of the movie, and of course, what they really want to fit into a Star Wars film, right? So, on the other hand, this could also mean other great things. It can mean that they're going to add in, of course, things that the fans are going to want. Something, around the lines of nostalgia or more fan service for all we know. They could do something around those lines that's really going to be quite beautiful at the very end, as opposed to what they had originally planned. But this is actually said to be 8 different endings that are only somewhat similar to each other. So there's changes here and there, they're testing things out, probably who dies and who survives and stuff like that, right? So with that being said, I will say that Disney and Lucasfilm, the fact that they are going through these changes, how they're testing through these endings, you know, you guys may have heard about this before in the past, that, you know, the reshoots really are an important phase for a major blockbuster movie, especially a film like Star Wars. You know, when you look at a Star Wars movie like this is the end of the Skywalker saga. It's a big deal for Disney and Lucasfilm to get down correctly. So, I would like to hear what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. You know, what do you think about the rise of Skywalker, and what's really going on here for this film, and what's really going on with the reshoots? Do you think it's a healthy thing? Do you think it's an unhealthy thing for the film by JJ? Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.